Thank you, team, so much for jumping on the call this morning. I appreciate it. Episode Monday Morning Pep Talk, episode 209, Take Flight. Today it's called Make Setting Expectations a Priority. And this will be me kind of wrapping up section 4 of Take Flight version 4.0. Before I get into that, I want to remind you, though, of my professional purpose, and that is to help you, the broker advisor, optimize your productivity and help you become the best version of yourself. Why? Because happy brokers sell more real estate. And I do that by helping you handle challenges and opportunities that you face every single day. If you can effectively manage certain situations that arise on a daily basis, you will be more productive and live a life that is the best version of you. And like always, I ask you to listen to this call as if you and I are in a one-on-one coaching session, either in person in my office or on a phone call. On this 209th episode of my Monday Morning Pep Talk, I will wrap up section 4 of Take Flight version 4.0 by discussing the importance of setting proper expectations up front with your clients to ensure successful transactions within your business. The goal of section 4, Deliver and Leverage, which is what's the name of the section, is to create a remarkable experience so that all of your hard work turns into client loyalty and additional opportunities. By setting proper expectations up front, it increases your likelihood of success. If a seller has the 2021 mindset, in quotes, and thinks that they will get multiple offers within a week of listing their property in a transitioning market, and it doesn't happen, they're going to be disappointed. Giving an updated range on pricing and average market time with proper and detailed expectations set up front during the listing presentation will pay massive dividends during the transaction. This is an opportunity also to promote everything that you do for your client, okay? For your client pre-launch and contract to close. Even if your clients have done business with you multiple times and just want to hand you the keys, you have to take the time. You have to take the time to go through your presentation and set the proper expectations of what they can expect in the current market, okay? They need to know what they can expect in the current market. Again, this gives you the opportunity to promote your listing processes. If you've not listened to my Monday Morning Pep Talk episode 207, Take Flight, Your Business Below the Surface, please do. I talk all about the systems and processes that are needed in a transaction. It discusses the stages of the listing process that you need to create a process for, okay? Let them know the stages and the steps that you're going to take throughout. It's so important. Use it to promote your business, that you have all these steps in the process that's going to help them get to the finish line. Once you've started the process and then you set the expectations, it's too late. It's too late. If you wait, setting expectations as a response will sound like making excuses. I want to read that again. If you wait too long and during the transaction to set expectations as a response to their questions, it will sound like you're making excuses. So make setting expectations with your sellers a priority. If there is one area that requires attention over the coming year, it's the need to describe and promote the value we provide our buyer clients. The initial consultation process will be a vital part of the buyer process as the market shifts and industry changes and expectations expand. The initial consultation gives you the opportunity to cover the contract that you use, the disclosures that will need to be reviewed, how you manage the search process, the current activity in the market, how much time they will have, act on the one when they find it, and then what happens during the due diligence timeframes and how contingencies are managed, the the lending process and the closing process, all of that needs to be described front, along with getting that buyer agency form signed. Okay. Again, take the time to quantify your value up front. How many stages and steps do you take them through from initial consultation and the search process? How many steps do you complete during contract and close or contract to close? As you know, it's a difficult process, and right up front is your opportunity to set expectations and promote your value. And again, I cover this in more detail in my Monday Morning Pep Talk episode 207. Okay. So once you've started the search process and you're on your heels, okay, it's too late. You've got to set those expectations. You got to tell them the landscape of the current buyer climate out there in terms of what it's going to take, especially in their hyper local markets that they're searching in. Be the professional here and set those expectations. If you wait, setting expectations too late will sound like making excuses. Make setting expectations with your buyers a priority. Pro tip number one, embrace the word memorialize. This is the process of following up in writing what you've discussed so there are no misunderstandings on what you've agreed upon. Okay. This could be done via email or even written as part of your listing agreement or buyer's agency agreement. Look at it as risk management. This is the managing broker side of me coming out. If you see a downside to a conversation, make sure to put your thoughts in writing because you may need to come back to that email at a later time. I'm just going to go off this transcript for a minute and let you know that as a manager, we've had situations where we have told our clients that we have real reservations about a property that they want to buy. Okay. And they buy it anyway against our better judgment. And then later on, something happens and we're able to go back to an email that described our concerns. And that saves us significant downside in a potential lawsuit. Just one email. Okay. This is called memorializing your thoughts. Do it in an email so you can search for it. If you do it in a text, it's almost impossible to find it later. Send them an email, let them know your thoughts. It's called memorialization of your concerns. Okay. Pro tip number two, make sure your transaction processes involve weekly feedback and communication. When you set expectations, you need to deliver on those processes. You want to be a professional, give great feedback, at minimum once a week. Pro tip number three, be prepared to walk away. 20% of your clients steal 80% of your joy. If they are not on board with how you operate, do them and yourself a favor to just agree that the agency relationship described by you is just not a good fit for all involved. Setting expectations does not always include a yes. Be willing to walk away. You want to be a pro? You want to know your business has arrived? Be willing to walk away. I want to say something here and I want you to listen to very carefully. This is so true. Everything you say yes to means that you may be saying no to something else that is a better fit. You say yes to something down in your gut, down in your intuition that says, been here before, shouldn't do it, but you do it anyway. Guess what? Not only are you going to be drug into what will potentially be a bad situation, but you're also saying no to something else that's a better fit. Okay, those are my 3 pro tips for the day. It's not just your clients that you need to set expectations. Here are some other areas that could use fruitful conversations. Does your family, life partners, children, and friends know the seasonality of your business? There will be different times of the year that will be more hectic than others, right? I don't need to tell you that. You know what I'm talking about. We talked about seasonality in previous Monday Morning Pep Talks. They don't instinctively understand the peaks and valleys of your business. So have those conversations. It will improve your personal life. Okay. Number 2, have you set expectations with yourself? Honestly, this is what a proper planning process does. When you set daily goals, weekly goals, quarterly initiatives, annual themes, and 3-year visions, you are setting expectations for yourself. Studies have shown that those that do not have a plan for their life and business are the most stressed. Studies have shown that those that do not have a plan for their life and business are the most stressed. Number 3, if you have people that directly support your business, okay, have you set expectations with them? Do they know your goals for the business, or do they just react to your day-to-day? Do they understand the importance of proper execution of your processes and the long-term benefits to them, you, and the business? Make setting expectations with people in your life a priority. In section 4 of Take Flight version 4.0, giving you the concepts around deliver and leverage during a transaction. That essentially means that if you deliver a remarkable experience during the transaction, you can leverage the good that will be created in the branding exposure to you to turn that one transaction into 2 additional opportunities. As you look at your current pipeline, what you have coming up next year, imagine if you were able to 2x or 3x your income by delivering a phenomenal experience, keeping your head up, looking for those additional clients, and executing on this new strategy. I had a client, I had a top broker in another market call me after episode 206, and that's where I talked about turning one client transaction into 3. And he said this concept is exactly what he's going to track in 2024. His business is built. He's doing great in many areas, and he needed just that one metric to track that he knew would make a huge difference. Okay. So for 2024, he's planning to take every transaction and track to those 2 additional pieces of business where he can turn 2.5 to 3% into 7.5 to 9%. As you can see, this section will be really important for you to focus on. If this resonates with you, get to work on those processes. I'm traveling next week, so in 2 weeks, I'll start the final section of Take Flight version 4.0. In section 5, we'll discuss lead generation. I call this area your 3 rocks of marketing. It will act like the top section of a sales funnel that we will stack on top of deliver and leverage, which is the section we just wrapped up today, and relationship and database management, which was section number 3. Those 3 areas make up your sales funnel. And in the coming weeks, I will show you how you'll be able to use this sales funnel to create massive, massive momentum in your business. Team is, we're on almost 25 or 26 episodes within Take Flight, and I'm building to a crescendo that we'll figure out sometime in mid-December about how all of this works together, okay? How all of it works together. Until then, I highly recommend that you take today's call as a reminder to make setting expectations a priority during your listing presentations and your buyer initial consultations. Oh, and while you're at it, do you need to set expectations with other people in your life? Do not assume that your clients, your team, your family, and friends truly understand. Good chance is that they probably don't, and don't assume. Team, I appreciate all of you jumping on this morning. Thank you so much. I'll talk to you in 2 weeks.